Auzubillahi minash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Sallallahu ta'ala ala habibihi Muhammadin wa alihi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to our segment on Surah Al-Ra'd. Inshallah, today we will cover the third Ruku of Surah Al-Ra'd, verses 19 to 26. May Allah grant us the ability to understand the true meanings of the Quran by the grace of His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ameen. With this dua, let's begin the third Ruku of Surah Al-Ra'd. Verse 19. Then is he who knows that what has been descended to you from your Lord is the reality, like one who is blind. Only will be reminded who are people of understanding. Ulu al-Bab are called the people of understanding, as we see in this verse. They are referred to as those who are sharp and have wisdom. They are neutral thinkers and they use their intellect without any emotional interference. Ulu al-Bab are two words and they appear together 16 times in the Quran. You will always see them together, referring to the people of understanding. As mentioned in this verse, these people of understanding are those who know the reality of Allah's message descended upon them in the form of the Quran. They observe Allah's signs everywhere and within their own selves. Those who do not see the reality are not in the same category as them, and as we see in this verse, they're referred to as the blind. Let's go on to verses 20 and 21. Those who fulfill the covenant of Allah and do not break the contract, and those who join what commands Allah to be joined, and fear their Lord, and are afraid of the evil of account. These two verses, they describe the characteristics of the people of understanding, as mentioned in the previous verse. They are those who keep their promises with their Lord and never violate the covenant. And they hold tight to the rope of Allah, and instead of dividing themselves, they make others join them in their cause, because they fear having to face Allah and being accounted for. They understand Allah's divine system of laws, and Allah is a strict enforcer of His laws, as stated in this verse. Let's go on to verse 22. And those who are steadfast, seeking the face of their Lord, and establish the Salah, and spend from what we have provided for them, secretly and publicly, and they repel with the good the evil. Those, for them, is the attained abode. This verse also describes the characteristics of the people of understanding. These people are steadfast in their good manners and good deeds, always prepared to meet with Allah at any time. They maintain their salah with Allah by being mindful of their thoughts and actions all the time. They spend what Allah has granted them of their wealth, their abilities, their skills, and their time to serve Allah's creatures with good, sincere intentions. And they repel evil with good, as stated in this verse. These are the people of understanding that will attain an excellent abode. Let's go on to verses 23 and 24. Gardens of perpetual residence, they will enter them, and whoever were righteous among their forefathers, their spouses, and their descendants. And the angels will enter upon them from every gate. Peace be upon you for what you patiently endured. So an award is the attained abode. As mentioned in this verse, Allah will admit the people of understanding, the Ulu al-Bab, into the Garden of Eden, and along with them will be those who were righteous amongst their ancestors, their spouses, and their descendants. The angels will welcome them from every entry with blessings of peace and safety. A reward for those who stayed steadfast, no matter what obstacle came in their way, having attained a most excellent abode. Let's go on to verse 25. And those who break the covenant of Allah after contracting it, and sever what commanded Allah to be joined, and spread corruption in the earth, those for them is the curse, and for them the evil abode. The Quran is clear in differentiating right from wrong. And as we see in this verse, it describes those who do not fall in the category of the people of understanding, the ulu albab. They are those people who do not keep their promises with their Lord, and they violate their covenants. They sever their relationships. They divide people instead of having them join together. They spread corruption and mischief in the world with their evil thoughts and actions in their pursuit for personal gain. For them is a wretched abode filled with misery, as stated in this verse. Let's go on to verse 26. Allah extends the provision for whom He wills and restricts, and they rejoice in the life of the world, and not is the life of the world in comparison to the hereafter, except an enjoyment. Whatever sustenance that we are given here are taken from us in according to Allah's divine system of laws. Allah gives, Allah takes. Those who are not the people of understanding ignore this fact, and they remain intoxicated in the life of this world. As mentioned in this verse, the enjoyment of this temporary life is short-term, and nothing compared to the life of the hereafter. The life of this world is given to us by Allah, and will be taken by Him. So while we are here, why not live according to the way that is commanded to us by Allah? So when we do meet Him, we will be at peace instead of agony. This concludes Ruku 3 of Surah Ar-Ra'd. Let's briefly go over what we discussed. The people of understanding, the Ulu Albab, are intellectual and wise. They understand the reality of the Quran and Allah's rules and power over everything. They observe Allah's signs everywhere and within themselves. These people of understanding, they adopt their life according to the command of Allah, and they are granted peace and safety in a most excellent abode. While those who ignore Allah's commands and remain engrossed in the worldly life, they create difficulties for themselves and an end full of misery. May Allah grant us the ability to understand the Holy Quran and its true meanings, in light of the life and guidance of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ameen. Thank you for joining us for this segment. Until next time. Sadaqallahu aliyul azim. Allah speaks the truth, the exalted, the great. Sallallahu ta'ala ala habibihi Muhammadin wa alihi wasallam.